Hello and welcome to a brand new series here on simbroadcasts.tv. You're watching on Twitch or YouTube. Thanks for joining us for the Master Race Car Rallycross Championship Season 2 by MRC using the Shanker T16 mod by Tim Dicknodder, who also happens to be the organiser of the series. We have the first heat coming up in about 2 minutes' time, so we've got a bunch to get through before we see some cars on the track. Here is the provisional schedule to begin with. We have 6 rounds of the RX Championship for 2022, and today we are at Blackwood Rallycross with a Joker Lap. So let's have a look where that Joker Lap is. It's placed at the end of the back straight before the second Rallycross section between at turn 6, and we have 3 sets of heats this evening with 3 laps each, and then some finals, an A, B, and C final, 4 laps each, and every single race the drivers have to make a mandatory trip through that Joker Lap section at the bottom right of the track map there. So yeah, our heats, we have 3 of them per driver, and a final. 3 finals, an A, B, and C final. The B and C finals will come first, and the winner of both the B and C final will move to the A final along with the drivers who qualify for it automatically. So hopefully we'll get used to this format as we go along. But let's take a look at the all-important car that the drivers will be using by Tim Dicknodder, a Live for Speed S3 mod, the Shanker T16, a 2-litre inline-4 all-wheel drive car with a whopping 440 brake horsepower. So this thing is no joke. It is very, very fast, and it only weighs a ton. So a lot of horsepower and a lot of fun. The drivers have been going very, very sideways in practice, and we expect fireworks coming up. We have a cracking series of racing to look forward to, and plenty of racing action. It's going to come at you thick and fast, so I hope you can keep up, and so do I, in the commentary box this evening. The drivers are just getting ready, and they have had their briefing, as far as I'm aware, and we will be getting going in just a moment's time for Heat 1, the first heat of 3 for the first set of drivers. There is no qualifying session. The heats are drawn randomly, I expect, by Tim Dicknodder himself, who will organise the drivers into random groups, and that will be the divisions for the heat races that are coming up. So yes, just a reminder that we have 3 heat sessions, and we will be seeing those in just a moment's time. Heat 1 at 2:30 UTC, then we've got Heat 2 from 5 to 3, and the 3 final heat races for all the drivers will be starting somewhere around 20 past 3, and the finals at 3:45. 3 laps around Blackwood Rallycross. It's a very, very short lap, only 1.8 kilometres, 1.2 miles, so we're expecting lap times well under 1 minute in length. So this is a completely new kind of concept for the Master Race Car Rallycross Championship. Of course, last year they did not use any modded content for their championship because it wasn't available, but now we have a bespoke car created especially for this series, so that's quite exciting. It does look as though we are slightly delayed, so I'm going to rest my voice before it gets too overheated before the start, and I'll bring you the pictures just as soon as the cars are ready to hit the track for heat number 1. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship 2022, Season 2 of the MRCRX. Apologies for that delay. The event organisers have sorted out the drivers and they are ready to go for the first of, we believe, 6 heats, essentially. We're going to have 2 races in Heat 1, 2 races in Heat 2, 2 races in Heat number 3, and some finals coming up in a few minutes' time after that. Let's have a look at the track one last time before we get going for race number 1 here. Yes, we have the infamous Blackwood Rallycross track for round number 1 of the championship. It's going to be furious. We've got the Joker lap, which every driver has to drive through at least once every single race that they compete in here tonight. And that is situated at turn 6, just there on the bottom right of the track map. This, the first of 6 rounds in the MRC RX Championship for 2022. There is the calendar, and we are about to get going for the action. The Shanker T16 is the car that the drivers are using, and we are on the grid already and ready to go. Let's see how we go for today's action. Great start by Dan Ballard as he makes his way down to the first corner for the first time of asking. This is a fantastic sounding car already, as you can hear, as all 6 of these drivers, or 5 of these drivers, bundle over the first corner. And Costa is through at the front, battling hard with Daniel Ballard there. Costa driving a somewhat camo livery here. They fire this car through onto the back straight. You'll see the Joker lap approaching in a couple of seconds' time. We've got a bit of a collision at the back. Jaroslav Donlik not having such a good run. None of the drivers electing for the Joker lap on the first time of asking. Jaroslav Donlik, however, he is in the Joker lap and heading through. So Yada is through and Costa is up and over. Start finish to start lap number 2 here. Up and over the jump. Costa is in dominating form in heat number 1 here. Michael Malik now up to P2. Daniel Ballard going slightly sideways. Will he be able to get over the jump? Yes, he will. And Malinowski then behind him, challenging for a podium as Michael Malik runs slightly wide and could be caught by Daniel Ballard at some point. No, he is safe for now. Dan runs a bit wide. Costa's elected to go through the Joker, and he comes out clear of anyone. Because oh no, he hasn't. He's been overtaken by Michael. Dan Ballard's gone through. He's got it all wrong though. Malinowski's gone through, but Dan's going to loop the car, is he? Yep, Dan has looped the car on the exit of the Joker. It is Michael Malik who leads, but of course this is completely artificial because Costa has already done his Joker lap. So Michael Malik has to do his Joker on the final lap of the race. And Costa, will Costa be able to get past even before that's happened? Not quite. But it is Costa from Malinowski, Jaroslav Donlik and Daniel Ballard. But where will Michael Malik slot back in his Shanker T16? Obviously, he doesn't have to give this place up to Costa. He's still in a race with him. But it does not matter. Costa being held up a little bit here by Michael, but he's so far ahead of everyone else that it does not matter. So here comes Michael into the Joker lap. Costa swings past and through. Michael's managed to get out ahead of everybody else, so that's a really, really nice race for Michael Malik, but in the end, not fast enough to defeat the number 46 Costa, who is the inaugural winner, the first winner in Heat 1 of the new season of Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship. But that was exciting. It was very, very short, 3 laps. All the drivers completing their Joker lap. So no one being disqualified here. And there are the 5 runners completing our first heat here this evening. In 3 minutes and 4 seconds, Costa, number 46, ahead of the 47 for Michael Malik, who took the fastest lap with a 58.84. Ahead of Malinowski, Jaroslav Donlik and Daniel Ballard. Heat 2 coming up in just a second's time. Here we go for heat number 2. And the drivers are already on the grid waiting to go. You'll notice we only have 3 cars, and that's because we have a late joiner. And therefore, we will have a third heat in heat 1. As we have some contact already between Jared Mead and Gabor. And that's allowed Tim Dicknodder to run away in the lead. Over the jump we go. And all 3 of these cars very, very close together over the first jump. And Jared Mead looking on the inside of Gabor here. But Gabor away. And it looks like Tim Dicknodder is the first car, as both of the cars behind, both into the Joker lap. And they've come together. Jared rams into the back of Gabor. And although those two now down as completing a Joker lap, that was the slowest Joker lap I think I've ever seen in all the cars that have gone through in practice. And that's allowed Tim Dicknodder, who is essentially running this event and has built the mod that we're driving, to get an absolutely huge lead. Gabor only just now crossing start finish. So, yeah, these two have basically got a fight amongst themselves. Very unlikely that Tim will be in any sort of trouble unless he makes a late mistake in this race. He's already coming up to be halfway through the race already. Of course, only 3 laps in the first set of heats here. Gabor is closing the gap, but he's already done his Joker. So has Jared. When will Tim serve his Joker? He'll do it now on lap 2. And that is a lot better than what we saw from the 2 cars behind. And clearly so. He's out well ahead. That is all 3 cars having set their Joker. Jared has dropped back quite a bit now. And won't probably be challenging Gabor for second place. Of course, each of these guys will be on the podium because there's only 3 of them. But better points at this rate for our host, Tim Dicknodder. Making a little bit of cumbersome work there of that first jump. Gabor is reeling him in. But Tim is doing everything just now that he needs to do. Onto the back straight he goes. And down through to the final section of the lap. Let's ride on board. Each of these drivers has got a nice skin, and you can see a little bit of an overlay inside the cars, which is a nice touch. Skinnable panel inside the car to see a little bit more about each of the drivers. Final corner for Tim Dicknodder, our leader, as he runs up to the start-finish line. Just look how much power this car has. It's so fast to get up to speed. And a cross-start finish he comes. That looked pretty close to competing with the previous heat time. Of course, fewer cars in that one. But there we are. Tim Dicknodder, Gabor Gyur, and Jared Mead crossing the line. And there we are. Full classification. Gabor with the fastest lap, a 58.84. That's it for Heat 2. We've got the third race in Heat 1 coming up in just a moment's time. Here comes the action for heat number 3 as the drivers turn their attention to the track once again. And we have slightly more drivers. It looks like Jonathan Palmer is on the grid and needs to remove himself. Let's see what happens here. That is JP getting off the grid, and we are left with Martin Kapal, Goodis, and Unsal. It is Martin Kapal who leads as they go over the first jump then. Goodis behind in second place, and Unsal preparing some action for us in the background. Martin Kapal goes quite wide, but he's safe for now from the two behind. Goodis coming onto the back straight with Unsal slightly beside him, but Unsal with a bad apex. He hit the actual apex there, and that gave him a really bad exit. No one Unsal electing for the Joker lap then in the background. But that was not a fantastic entry, but he is down as having completed that now. And we turn our attention back to the front. Martin Kapal choosing for the tarmac. Goodis electing to go on the gravel. I wonder if that's any quicker. Probably not, actually. And it is Martin Kapal who clocks the lead across the start-finish line on lap number 1. Remember, Goodis did not have a fantastic Joker, so he's probably out of this, but this is the closest lead for the battle for the lead we've got. Sorry, Unsal with a bad Joker. Goodis has not gone in yet. And these two pretty close. Goodis selecting for this wider line. He's gone onto the grass there, which is less grippy, and that's allowed Martin Kapal to get away a little bit. So losing momentum on the outside for Goodis. I wonder whether he will take this opportunity to get in and out of the Joker lap before Martin Kapal. Martin Kapal is not going for it on this occasion, but Goodis is. He heads into the Joker zone, and he's hit the wall. But he's out clearly ahead of Unsal. He takes to the air, and more drama. He's bouncing off the walls a lot here. And that leaves only Martin Kapal to set his Joker lap. But he's now clearly in the lead. If he makes a clean Joker, this should be it for him. A relatively trivial heat win could be on the cards as he heads over the first jump nicely through into the middle part of the lap. Quick flick in here. You can hear the nice little grumbling of the exhaust pipe when the gear changes are made. Let's listen in. Nice little effect there added by Tim Dicknodder for this mod. And Martin Kapal then will go through the Joker lap. That's right on board as he heads in. And you get pushed out onto the grass here, which is less grippy. And that outside wall is very inviting, but he's out clearly ahead of Goodis and Unsal. Around the final corner, electing to stay on the tarmac, uses a bit of the grass just to hook the car around. It's super quick. It's so fast out of that final corner up to speed. And there we are. Martin Kapal across the line takes the win in heat number 1, race 3, followed by Goodis and Unsal. That is our result for the third race of the evening. Fastest lap taken by Martin Kapal, 59.51, some 0.6 plus slower than the previous race. And Jonathan Palmer, one of our race directors there, classified 3 laps down. He is not taking part, so you can disregard that result. But anyway, we're on to the next one very quickly. Heat 2 races coming up in just a few moments' time. The second heats are being prepared, and that means we are done with Heat 1 for this round. Taking a look at our schedule, here we are. We are on to the Heat 2 races, so we're going to see a very similar format with the drivers shaken up to work out who will qualify for each of our finals this evening. We've got 4 cars on the grid. Michael, Unsal, Donalik and Goodis on the grid for the first race of Heat number 2. The drivers are readying up, so we will bring you action right now for this one. The drivers are on the grid and ready to go. All of them lining up line astern. Normally we get 3x3 starts here at Blackwood Rallycross, but the custom grid means we have 4 cars side by side. Michael Malik with a good launch on the inside. That is Unsal beside him. Goodis going for a very wide line. I wonder what that's about. Definitely just outbraked himself there as Yaroslav Donalik nestles in P3 just now. But Michael Malik with a good strong start, the same sort of start as we saw in his first heat. The 3 cars behind coming into some contact. That's Donalik and Unsal coming together. I think that was started a little bit by Donalik there, but that's allowed Goodis to break free and close the gap up to Michael Malik then ahead. Here the drivers come across the first timing line, and it is Michael Malik for Master Race Car coming through. Unsal into the Joker lap, Donalik electing not to, and that's a better Joker lap this time from Unsal compared to his first attempt through there, much cleaner. And let's see, can Donalik open that gap up now that he is in some clear air? Currently in P3. Michael Malik clear air to Goodis. I reckon Michael Malik's already opened up almost enough of a gap to do the Joker. As Goodis outbrakes himself yet again by the looks of it. Very, very wide, very squirrely on the brakes. And Michael Malik has already disappeared into the distance. Yaroslav Donalik can taste blood. And Unsal, well, he's taken the literal approach to the apex, driving straight around on the grass. Will Michael choose to come in for his Joker on this attempt? He's got enough of a lead, but he might leave it to the last lap so that he's guaranteed some clear air, potentially, after Goodis decides to take his Joker. Yep, Michael stays out. Will Goodis come in now? Or will he stay out? He stays out too. And it's Yaroslav's turn to come in for his Joker. There we go. Unsal already with his Joker lap under his belt, but dropping back slightly now from Yada, who is heading up to the start-finish line. So just Goodis and Malik to come in and have these two done enough to stay ahead of the 2 behind. I think Michael's definitely done enough. And Goodis now with 3 seconds, but he's got the jump wrong. The first jump very, very wrong, and he's into the tyre wall. And there's going to be tyres in the way for Yaroslav Donalik, who actually crashes into the back of Goodis, and that's going to allow Unsal to take the position away from Yada. So Yada did not see the accident, and Yada's done the same thing as he did on lap 1, run into the back of Unsal. This is a very dramatic heat, and Goodis very unhappy with Donalik muscling his way through. That was quite rude. And it looks like Goodis has decided to, he's trying to get past Unsal. Meanwhile, Michael Malik has served his Joker, and he's already in the final corner. But that was frantic in the back as Goodis goes through the Joker lap now. And while all that's happening, Michael Malik cheeses his way across the start-finish line, miles ahead. In fact, 14 seconds on my time screen ahead of the next car. Michael Malik, what a performance that was, while everyone else behind was scrapping. But here they come. It will be Unsal, followed by Yaroslav Donalik, and then in the background, Goodis, who got the first jump very, very wrong, clipped the first apex, smashed into the wall, unsighted by Yada, and then couldn't muscle his way back through and had to serve his Joker lap. What a dramatic heat race that was. Heat 2 is coming up in just a second's time. Sorry, Heat 2, Race 2 is coming up in just a second's time. But what a performance there from Michael Malik. Best lap was a 59.58, so slightly slower than his heat race just before, his first heat race just before. Can anybody challenge the 58s in the next heat? The drivers are just getting gridded up for that. We've got Costa, we've got Jared Mead, we've got Gabor and Malinowski for Heat 2, Race 2. And they are ready to go in the background. And we will have lights, camera, action for you right about now. Here comes the third race of Heat 2. And it is Costa on the inside with Jared Mead on the middle left, Gabor Gier on the middle right, and Malinowski on the right-hand side of your screens. As they all set off down towards turn number 1, it is Jared Mead who has a slight advantage, but breaks a bit earlier. That allows Costa to swing to the inside. Jared has a better run. And as they all head over the first jump, it will be Jared Mead who leads, but he's going to get sent into the tyres, is he? Yes, he is. He's absolutely collected. Everybody else slams into him, and somehow Jared Mead emerges in the lead, even though he was facing backwards about 5 seconds ago. Looks like Costa was stuck for a bit, but he's moved on now. Malinowski's in P2, Gabor in P3, and onto the back straight it is advantage to Jared Mead. So Costa, after his dominant performance in his first heat, this is not a good result for him. He'll have to make it all up in his second one, and that is Malinowski who heads in for his Joker lap. And where will he come out with? No, he won't come out near Costa because Costa's gone in 2. And Jared has already been caught up by Gabor. So let's see, can Gabor make it through without needing to go through the Joker to get it done? He's got a good run, but he's not going to get much chance to utilise the slipstream in a sprint race like this in 3 laps. Goes for a wider line. He's going to try and do Jared around the outside. Not sure if that's quite going to work. He'll cut back to the inside. Will he? No, not quite. Over the jump we go. Both of them through cleanly. And we've got a proper fight for ourselves here. Meanwhile, in the background, Malinowski still has a gap as Jared runs very wide and hands the inside line to Gabor. Jared will be kicking himself after that. That was a big mistake over the jump. Got it all wrong. Could not get the car slowed down. And that hands Gabor a healthy lead now. Will he go in for his Joker lap? Probably not. He'll leave it for the final lap, surely. He does, and Jared follows him too. So Malinowski and Costa, both having served their Joker laps, leave Gabor and Mead to do it on the final lap of this race. Malinowski, however, is closing up on Jared Mead. Will Jared have enough time to serve his Joker and stay out ahead of Malinowski? Well, it will be close. And as we head on to the final lap then, Gabor and Jared have no choice but to serve the Joker. Gabor should be through on Malinowski if he can get a clean Joker over the jump. Personal best for Malinowski, but he's got turn 1 slightly wrong. And the gap between him and Jared has opened up ever so slightly. So Jared has 2 seconds now of a buffer. Probably slightly more than that now. As Gabor swings the car around onto the back straight. And has to go in and serve his Joker lap. Let's see how this goes. And let's see where he comes out with in relation to the other drivers. Breaks the car down. He goes in a bit deep. He's going to have to do quite a bit of work on the exit. Not the best momentum. And Malinowski's managed to just slot out just behind Jared. So Jared managed to clear those 2, but it will be close up to the start-finish line as Gabor exits the final corner. Up the hill he comes to win his second heat race. Then it'll be Jared Mead. A bit of a battle on the line. It will be Costa just through on Malinowski. There was a bit of argy-bargy going on across the line. And Costa just registered in the lead. According to LFS, Malinowski came across the line in 3rd, but let's leave that for the stewards to review. Gabor Gier wins in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Costa with the fastest lap from the back, finishing in P3 with Jared Mead in P2 and Malinowski in P4. All right, we have one more heat race in heat number 2 before we head into heat number 3. The grid will be set momentarily and we will get going. Wow, what a frantic race, frantic few races we've had. Costa not having a good time in his second heat race, so he will have to make up some points in his third heat race if he wants to guarantee himself a slot in the A final. We have Tim Dicknodder, Martin Capel, and Daniel Balla ready to run in this next heat. And the grid is set. Here come the lights for the final race in heat number 2. And it is a clean getaway for all three. Martin Capel on the inside, Daniel Balla in the middle, and Tim Dicknodder on the outside as we're looking at it. And it's a tight apex for Martin, and he manages to get out just ahead. But Tim Dicknodder is going to get the cutback easily on Daniel Balla, almost on Martin too, as these cars frantically scrabble for grip. There's so much power, but only a limited amount of grip on those tyres as they head through the second hairpin. Martin Capel cleanly through. And Daniel Balla needs to make a move. Look how sideways they're going into there. But then watch how quickly they get up to speed. Daniel Balla choosing to run a wide line onto the gravel, onto the grass. And Tim Dicknodder gets away cleanly as Dan fires it into the Joker. Little brush with the wall on exit, but it looked pretty clean from the number 43. Now, what can Tim Dicknodder do? Can he close up to Martin Capel? Martin Capel already with a heat race win under his belt. Tim Dicknodder chasing him through. Martin slightly wide of the apex, but gets a good exit. Tim Dicknodder hitting the apex and somewhat compromising his exit, but clean nonetheless. This will be the final race of Heat 2. And who will be our winner? Martin Capel currently leading by just under 2 seconds, to Tim Dicknodder. Will he elect to make his Joker lap now? No, he'll probably do it on the last lap. Will Tim go in now? Yes, he will. And will he be out ahead of Daniel Balla? Well, almost certainly. Actually, a bit closer. But Tim out well ahead in the end. Oh, Tim not with the best apex in the final turn of the Rallycross section. And Martin Capel just needs a clean start to this lap, clean Joker, and he'll be on his way for his second heat win of 2. So a strong start to round 1 for Martin so far, but a lot can go wrong. This car has a lot of power. Dan Balla has made an error. I think he's had a coming together. Yes, he has, with the post at the first jump. You can see the front left of his car is a bit mullered, and that has allowed Tim to open up the gap slightly. Right on board with Martin Capel as he takes his Joker. Again, a bit deep, not the smoothest, but it won't matter because he'll be out well ahead of Tim Dicknodder, who's just coming over that jump now. Dan Balla some way behind. Nice apex, great looking car, great looking apex from Martin Capel as he sends it over the final curb. And a bit of a flourish to the finish, using all the revs. And it is a win. 2 wins for Martin Capel in both of his heat races. Tim Dicknodder across the line in P2. And Daniel Balla has to settle for P3 there. Martin Capel set the fastest lap, slightly quicker than his previous fastest lap in his first heat, 59.18. Heat 3 coming up in just a moment's time. That is it for Heat 1 and 2, and we have Heat 3 coming up in just a moment's time. Let's review the schedule for the day. We have completed the first 2 heats, and at about 20 past, so in 2 minutes' time, we will see 3 heat races for Heat number 3. All of those will be 3 laps yet again before we head to the all-important finals, and we will have to see what the order of the proceedings is for that, because we could have 2 finals, but we could have 3 too. A, B, and C is what we're expecting. But those will be 4 laps long, so slightly longer, 25% longer, to determine who will be our round 1 winner. Yeah, the race admins are just getting the final heat ready. They're doing the shuffle, and we will find out who's going to be in each of the splits momentarily. If you want to sign up for the Master Race Car Rallycross Championship, then the sign-ups will open again at the end of this round, and we'd love to see you on the grid in a couple of weeks' time. Let's have a look at the calendar. Today we are at Blackwood Rallycross, but next time out in 2 weeks' time, we will be headed to Aston Cadet for the only round happening at Aston, at a custom configuration with a Joker lap installed. Then we'll be on to Fern Bay for the first time of 2 on April the 3rd. We'll be back at Blackwood again on April 17th for round 4. Fern Bay again on the 1st of May for round 5. And then on May 8th, we will take round 6 to find the final round of the championship to West Hill at a custom configuration. All of those times there in UTC. All right, let's have a look. Jonathan Palmer is currently working on tiebreakers to work out how everything is going to shape up for the final heat. So I will take a quick break and we'll be back just as soon as the final heat grids are set. Don't go anywhere. Unsol, Yada, Goodis, and Jared will be the drivers who will take part in the first race of heat number 3. The grid is being set behind the scenes right now, and we will bring you pictures in just a second's time. That's ready to go. And the cars are on the track. Here they are. We have Unsal on the outside. Jaroslav Donelik on his right. On his left, sorry. Then it's Goodis, then Mead. Here come the lights. And a bad getaway there for Unsal. But he did get a jump start, apparently. So, not sure what he has to do. Is he able to go into the pit lane? 45-second penalty he will get. That is a big penalty to get in such a short format race. So, almost certainly last, unless anyone else has some drama. A good start for Jaroslav Donelik. Goodis has hit the tyres. And Unsal having a mare again as well. So all drama at the back, but at the front it's all go. Jared Mead trying to catch up to Jaroslav Donelik. Will either of them serve the Joker? No, they will not. It looked like Jared had a think about it, and that's kind of forced him a bit wide, potentially. Maybe had a slight thought about going in for his Joker. It is Unsal who will be the first car to go in. We are restarting the race, apparently, because there was a false start. So that was a late call. We're going to have a full-on restart. Here we go. So unfortunately for Jaroslav and Jared, all that hard work undone because of a jump start penalty. Away they go. A better start from all four of them. Jared on the outside, Yada on the inside with a better start. Unsal into the back of him ever so slightly. And now it's Goodis in that bright yellow Shanker T16 trying to go around the outside. Has not worked. As they head over the jump for the... Well, I guess this is the second time in this heat race because we've had a restart. The three at the back getting together. Jared having a slightly tougher time of it here. We're hearing that car number 2 has to serve 2 Joker laps, so Unsal has to go around the Joker lap twice. I guess it's a penalty for having a dodgy start to the first race. And Goodis, do you see how quick his Joker was there? He managed to overtake Jared and get a healthy lead in the Joker lap. I haven't seen that done before. But that was mighty from Goodis. In and out very, very quickly. But it is Jaroslav Donelik who leads from Unsal. But for how much longer? Unsal doesn't have to make one. He has to make 2 trips through that Joker complex. And he's about to be swarmed by Goodis. And he's not been through the Joker yet. So we're going to see some drama in the back of the pack right now. Jared having a look at the inside of Goodis there, but not able to make the move. Now Unsal slightly hampered on the exit. He's going to be denied to go into the Unsal. Oh, he's been forced out. He couldn't get into the Joker lap, and he has to serve 2 of them, so it will be another disqualification for Unsal. Oh, that was cheeky, I think, maybe of Goodis to go on the outside round there. Unsal will almost certainly be disqualified now. He wasn't able to get into the Joker lap. How unusual. But it is Yada with a comfortable lead while these 3 have been bouncing off of each other. Goodis P2, Jared Mead P3. And, well, unfortunately for Unsal, 2 races to forget. He had 2 bites of the cherry and it's gone wrong on both occasions. Very, very wide for Goodis. And Jared not able to make anything of that, but he's really, really close. So Unsal's 45-second penalty from the last race will be downgraded to a 30-second penalty because he wasn't able to serve both of his Joker laps. Well, you know, that's just the way it goes as Unsal goes through the Joker lap. And here comes Jaroslav to the line then to complete the first race of Heat 3 in style. A good win there for Jaroslav. Across the line in second place, it was Goodis ahead of Jared Mead. Unlucky there for Jared, only 2 tenths across the line. Jared was quite a way in the lead, just behind Jaroslav on the first attempt at this race. And then Unsal with a 30-second penalty added to his time as a result of that, finishing last. All right. We'll be moving on to Heat 3, race number 2 in just a moment's time. And there are the final classifications. Martin Gopal, that is in fact not the right results. I will get the correct ones up. There we are. Jaroslav Donlik classified in first ahead of Goodis, Jared Mead, and Unsal. Jaroslav Donlik with the fastest lap, the 59.09 recorded there. Gabor, Malinovsky, Michael, and Costa will be in race number 2 of Heat 3. And we are on the grid right now. Gabor on the left of shot. Then we've got Malinovsky, Michael Malek, and Costa. And we're waiting for the lights. There they go. And a good start as they wrestle this car down to turn 1. They're up to speed very, very quickly. And then it's a hard braking zone into a tight right. And it's Gabor who has the best apex just now. Michael Malek going very wide on the outside of shot. Costa did a double cutback, got past Malinovsky and Malek, and is chasing down Gabor. Now, Costa needs a good race here. He had a win in Heat 1. Didn't do so well in his second race, so he needs a good result here. He can't afford any mishaps. As we have a mishap, Malinovsky has spun. I'm not sure whether that was induced by some contact with Michael Malek. Maybe some slight contact as Gabor goes wide onto the grass. That hands the inside to Costa, who is going to try for the move. Is he? No. Gabor into the Joker. Didn't want to get involved in that scrap. Probably wise. And that's going to allow Michael Malek and Costa to bunch up. Malinovsky's also done his Joker. And as we head on to lap 2, we are given another taste of what this series could be about if drivers can fight fairly. Let's see, as you know, Costa and Michael banging doors severely through turn 1. Michael's gone very wide, and there's further contact with Costa. That's going to allow Gabor to get through, and Michael has to rejoin awkwardly across the jump. And fortunately, Malinovsky's far enough behind not to get in the way of that. But now it is Gabor and Costa at the head of this race, and Gabor has already served his Joker, even though Costa has managed to get ahead. All drama. So Costa has to serve his Joker surely and try and fight back at Gabor on the track. Yes, he has. Gabor goes through, having already done his Joker. Costa rejoins behind Michael Malek, who I believe is yet to do his Joker. So Michael will have to push, do it on the final lap, and hope he can make up some ground on Costa, which is looking unlikely as Costa gets a good exit. We're right on board with him now. Up the hill we go. Taking a much wider line, Costa able to square up his braking zone a lot nicer than Michael will be able to for the first corner. That's going to allow Costa to carry more speed and potentially get a better exit as we head over the first jump through this tricky chicane. Lines himself up for the second jump all the way on the right-hand side, basically at 90 degrees as they head over the first jump, because you've immediately got to angle the car for this long 170-odd degree left-hander. Then it's all more action as Michael bounces off the wall. He bounced off the apex on the inside, and Costa is cleanly through. And Michael Malek will be forced to go through now for his Joker. Here he goes. Just manages to avoid the rear end of Costa's Shanker T16. And where will he come out in relation to Malinovsky? Just ahead as they head for the line now. Gabor Gür heads onto the tarmac section for the final time in heat number 3 and wins in style. That was really nice from him. Flash of the headlights, why not? Costa making up for the drama that he had in Heat 2, crossing the line in P2. Michael Malek P3 and Malinovsky in P number 4. Here are those results then. Gabor in 3 minutes and 5 seconds with a fastest lap of 59.01 wins. Costa and Michael Malek P2 and 3, and Malinovsky P4. A pretty close field that, so a nice heat as we move on to race 2 in just a moment's time. Here we go then for race number 3 of Heat 3. Tim Ducknotter, Martin Capel, and Dan Balla. This is sure to be frantic. Some experience here. Martin Capel already with 2 heat wins under his belt in the middle there in the Savage Sim Sports Shanker T16. Daniel Balla going for the wide line into turn number 1 in that race green universal livery that he's applied to his Shanker. Tim Ducknotter with a clean run through turn 1 and over the first jump, though. He's got a healthy lead already over the 2 behind him, as Dan Balla seems to have made up a position, yes he has, on Martin Capel, who immediately goes for a return, and those positions switch very cleanly, I must say. So good racing already in this one. These drivers obviously with fewer cars to contend with in our previous race, which you'd think would make it easier, but is often not the case, as Dan Balla goes for his joker. He sends the car, and that is a bad joker for him. He hits the barrier, went in far too late and was already late on the brakes by the time he'd gone in, so he didn't want to hold himself up behind Martin Capel, but ended up holding himself up more because he decided to come in too late. Now Martin is unleashed to try and catch up with Tim Ducknotter, who it's safe to say should be the master of this machine. He built the mod and designed the championship around the mod and is now racing in said championship. So no pressure, Tim, but all eyes are on you now. Let's see if he can win in the 3rd race here in Heat 3. Up and over the jump nice and cleanly. Let's ride on board and see just how it is, how you're supposed to muscle the car through and around Blackwood Rallycross. Onto the tarmac back straight we go. Doesn't use all of the road. Very leisurely exit. Let's see if he goes for the joker. No, he's not. Pitches the car in slightly wide of the apex, avoiding the grass, onto the gravel, avoiding the grass on the right side. Martin Capel has served his joker lap, and all eyes still on Tim Ducknotter. Final corner, takes 2 apexes, try to get the car around over the curb, misses the curb slightly, possibly didn't want to unsettle it, and then out into the middle of the road across start finish, and then should move the car to the left for turn number 1. Martin Capel, after his joker, out cleanly ahead of Dan Balla, and you can just see him exiting the shot. There we go. So Martin Capel needs to get the hammer down and try and find a miracle, because Tim Ducknotter so far is driving a very, very clean heat here. Great apex. You can see him not using any of the grass. Absolutely perfect line. Up and over this crest onto the back straight, not using any of the excess grass on the outside. And he'll have to serve his joker. Let's watch him as he goes through the joker. Looks good. He's going to clip the apex, is he? Yep, he hits the wall. You can see the driver's head move, but he's out well ahead of Martin Capel. So Martin denied his 3rd win from 3, it looks like, as Tim exits onto the tarmac. He's home and dry. Tim Ducknotter wins the 3rd heat here this evening. Martin Capel will finish P2, and Daniel Balla will come across the line in P3. And it was Tim Ducknotter who got the fastest lap on that occasion. A 59-second dead, which is a good effort from him. But not the fastest time we've seen this afternoon. We've seen a 58, a couple of 58s, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some of those in the final. 3 minutes and 3 seconds, a very fast winning time from Tim Ducknotter ahead of Martin Capel and Daniel Balla. A close finish in the end for those 3. That's all the heats completed, so we are going to be moving on to the final section of events this evening, and that is the 3 finals. We have the A, B, and C finals in just a few moments' time. Those will each be 4 laps, and of course the drivers will have to serve at least 1 joker lap, depending on how many penalties they get themselves. Unsal, of course, unable to serve his penalty joker lap in his previous race due to a very weird incident where he was blocked from entering the joker section. So that's something you have to think about when you are given an extra joker, I suppose. Or, you know, if you want to serve your joker later on in the race and you're in a battle, it's all part of it. There will be no C final. We will just have an A and B final, which means we'll have more cars. That'll be tasty. Let's take a quick break, and we will be back just as soon as the grid is set for the B final. Don't go anywhere. The drivers are away in the background doing a practice start, and they are about to do the start for real. And this will be the B final. Here are the drivers on the grid, and we have, for the first time, it seems like 3 rows of 2. Fantastic stuff. Here we go for the start. 6 cars take off down to the bottom of the hill, and it is Jaroslav Donalik who leads the way from Goodis, who immediately gets into Jared has gone wide because Costa tried to go up the inside and it didn't work out for him. And as we head up to the first timing line, we have Goodis, and that was Unsau collecting Jaroslav Donalik. Jaroslav sent wide. That's promoted Malinovsky up to P3 temporarily, but here comes Jaroslav again, who spins. Oh, goodness me, and Costa almost collects him. Goodis has got a good break ahead. Malinovsky up to P2. Jared Mead then initially didn't get a good start, but he's now up to P3. And we have Malinovsky into the Joker lap, as well as Costa and Unsau and Jaroslav Donalik. So 4 cars serving the Joker lap straight away. Here is Goodis. He has got a really, really nice start to this race. And here comes Jared Mead. But in the background, we've got Malinovsky, Costa, side by side, both of which I believe have been given warnings already in this race. And it is Costa who has the advantage going into turn 1. Malinovsky's got on the grass and almost runs into the back of Costa, but cleanly through so far. Can't really tell from that angle, but it is Costa who jumps over the crest first. I really do like Malinovsky's livery that he's got. These two are the closest that we have on track. You can just see in the background Unsau and Jaroslav Donalik just trying to pick up the pieces from where they left off, really. And it is Malinovsky and Costa side by side again. They don't have to worry about the Joker. They just have to focus ahead and try not to get tangled up with each other as we head through onto lap 3 almost already. Bit wide of the apex for Costa. That allows Malinovsky to catch up initially. Malinovsky has been the only driver consistently using the gravel on the outside of the final corner, and it always slows him down. Yarda using the opposite banking to try and gain an advantage. It hasn't worked for him either. Unsau. Oh, goodness me, Yarda. He's returned the favour. Now, we've seen Yarda running into the back of Unsau a lot in this first round. He's done that 3 times on my count. So Yarda is treading a thin line at the moment, as we see Jared Mead now closing up to the back of Goodis. But look at Costa. Costa has managed to convert his pace from the first heat into the final, the B final, and he is charging up to the back of these two who have not yet served their Joker. As I say that, Goodis comes in and he will be immediately driven round by Malinovsky and Costa and arrives back in 4th place. Jared will be sweating bullets now. He needs to get a clean lap. He needs to make sure that Costa doesn't interfere with him, because he is now in a battle for 4th place. Malinovsky P3, Goodis P4, Jaroslav Donalik P5, and Unsau P6 right at the back. A little bit of a wobbly, snaky entry for Jared Mead, and Costa on the inside slams into the side of him and sends Jared off into the outside. Difficult to tell from that angle what exactly happened, but it does look like Costa has punted into the side of Jared, and there might have been some lag involved there as well. But Costa, he now has absolutely nothing ahead of him to worry about. It is Malinovsky and Goodis who take the top 3 positions. And remember, the winner of this heat goes through to the A final to join the rest of the drivers there, as Goodis goes so wide, in fact, he crashes into the wall. And is Yarda there to pick up the pieces? Not quite. He will have to do some work to make that happen. Jared Mead, he will take the Joker lap now. Here he comes. Oh, hits the apex. Will he come out ahead of Unsal? Yes, he will. Yaroslav Dunleek's rolled it. Oh, and rejoins. But we have to move away because Costa has already made it up to start-finish and wins the B final. Wow, that was a lot of action. Here comes Malinovsky, P number 2. Then it's Goodis, P3. Jared Mead is going to get Yarda, or is he? Oh, it was close. No, it was Yaroslav Dunleek in the end. Jared backed out, unsure why. Probably, I don't know, did he feel bad? I don't know what's gone on there, but Jared gave the place back to Yarda, possibly because he was off the track. And then it is Unsal finishing in P6 right at the back. Well, that was a pretty great B final, and that was only the B final. So I wonder what we're going to see for action in the A final that's coming up in just a moment's time. But it was Costa who won in 4 minutes 8 seconds with the fastest lap of a 59.15, ahead of Malinovsky, Goodis, Yaroslav Dunleek, Jared Mead, and Unsal. That was pretty great, and I can't wait to see what happens in our A final in a moment's time. That means Costa is promoted, and he will join the others for the final race of our action this evening. All right, well, if you want to get involved in the second round of the Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship, then you can do. All the action from that is coming up on your screens in 2 weeks' time, and we will be at Aston Cadet on March 20th. So please do join us for that. Race number 2 of the finals. That will be the A final. We'll see Costa promoted onto that grid with everybody else we have not seen so far. Tim Ducknodder, Martin Kapal, Daniel Balla. Who else will we have in there? We'll have Michael Malek, and we'll have Gabor. And the grid for that is being set right now, so don't go anywhere. A very, very fast restart here. It looks like Costa has been disqualified from the A final because of some conduct issues, multiple collisions and things that we saw. So, yep, unfortunately for him, he will not take place in this final. We have the cars lined up. Malinovsky, being in P2, has replaced Costa in the A final, but it is Tim Ducknodder who is on pole position with Martin Kapal alongside and Daniel Balla and Gabor on the second row with Michael Malek and Malinovsky at the back. And that's all about to change as Dan Balla and Michael Malek both fire themselves around the two front runners, but it is still Tim Ducknodder who leads at the front, but big contact into the tyres. That was Michael Malek and Gabor who have been big losers from there, and Gabor's only just got going, so an absolute disaster for him. As in the background we have Martin Kapal in a frantic fight with Daniel Balla and Michael Malek. Dan Balla just behind. You can just about see him through all of the dust that is being kicked up by the immense 440 horsepower engine in the Shanker T16. No one elects for the Joker, or do they? Yes, they do. Daniel Balla into the Joker lap. There. Will he hit the wall? No, he seems to have sorted himself out. Gabor in 2, and he now has 3 laps to try and catch up to the rest of the field. Can he do it? Well, I don't know about catching Tim Ducknodder. He seems to be on a roll, and he has absolutely no challenge at the moment from Malinovsky, Michael Malek, or Martin Kapal. But let's keep an eye on the battle for third place. Third place overall in this round 1. Martin Kapal currently in the lead. Michael Malek trying to do the cutback. Michael's run quite far wide. course, Tim Dicknodder in the lead of the overall race, but we're watching the battle for P3. Martin Capel on the inside, Michael leaving him some room. Martin having to have another go at the apex, not quite working for him there. And at some point, these guys are going to need to come in for their Joker. When will Tim do it? Will he do it now? It would be silly, I think, for him to do his Joker now. Yep, he stays out. Malinowski stays out. And it is Martin Capel who dives in. He thinks he's got enough of a gap. Oh, he's hit the wall. That's a disaster. It's not a good Joker for Martin. Not a good exit either. And that will be... who was that? That was Dan Balla who manages to get the place back on him. So 3 down, 3 to go in terms of Joker laps. Here comes Tim Dicknodder across the line. 2 to go for him. Then we've got Malinowski and Michael Malik. Michael running very wide. He must have got a super exit. He's closed right up to the back of that psychedelic-looking car, the number 31 of Malinowski. And Michael forces Malinowski off into the tyre wall. And Michael's off himself, so a disaster of a jump. That promotes Dan Balla up to P3. Dan Balla has snuck through here. He's been a little bit of a, an underdog here, and he's up into 3rd place. Tim Dicknodder, he's got the choice. Does he serve his Joker lap right now, or does he wait until later? He thinks he's got enough room to behind. He goes for another lap. Slightly chilled entry to that corner. Malinowski into the turn 6 Joker lap and out alongside his old mate, Martin Capel. As all 5 of these cars, as Gabor is hooked onto the back. Gabor could have a look at Malinowski, who mounted the curb again. We are on to the final lap. Tim Dicknodder has to serve his Joker lap, and so does Michael Malik. But Michael now is down in P3. Let's keep an eye on Tim Dicknodder just briefly as he heads over this jump. No drama at all. But then it is Dan Balla who has managed to get past Michael Malik. So Dan Balla looks like he could be on for P2 in round 1 of MRC's Rallycross Championship 2022. And who will be joining at the moment? Daniel Balla and Tim on the podium. It looks like it could be Martin Capel right now, as Tim Dicknodder heads into the Joker lap completely free of everyone else. Michael Malik comes into the Joker, but will he come out behind or ahead of Martin Capel? Well behind, in fact, last. And as we head into the final corner, Martin Capel joins Daniel Balla and Tim Dicknodder on the provisional podium, as up the hill to secure and cement his win in round 1. It's Tim Dicknodder sideways across the line. Fantastic stuff. Followed by Dan Balla, Martin Capel. Gabor finishes in P4. Malinowski P5, and Michael Malik, after all that drama on the opening lap and second lap, finishes in P6. Wow, what a final. I just wish for more laps, to be honest. It was over as soon as it had started, but there we go. Rallycross is fast and furious. Tim Dicknodder wins in 4 minutes 4.85, ahead of Daniel Balla, Martin Capel, and Gabor, who did set the fastest lap at 58.6, which I think is the fastest we saw in the actual racing action. I could be wrong. Malinowski in P5 and Michael Malik in P6. The whole field separated by 7 seconds. So, yeah, a very, very close finish indeed. And that draws to a close the action for round 1 of Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship 2022. Quite exciting. We'll hang around for a few minutes to see if any of the drivers want to come and say hello to us, or maybe the organiser. But other than that, we'll take a very quick break before I wrap up in a few minutes' time. Thanks, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Tim Ducknodder joins me in the commentary booth. Tim, you've won the first round. How do you feel?
Pretty good. It's a very fun car to drive. We had a lot of fun on track today, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looked great. I mean, tell us about the car. I mean, I've driven a few laps in it, but you're the one who built it. So, how did it feel driving it in your own championship and driving it to victory?
It feels really well. I developed it with a couple of real-life Rallycross drivers. They all tested it, they all liked it, and we tried to improve it and bring the best Rallycross car to LFS that we could.
Well, it looks absolutely mighty out of the final corner here. How do you think it's going to fare at the next round and the rounds following?
For the next round, we have a small update. It should make it look even better, and I think handling-wise, it can survive on any RX track because we tried it on all 6 tracks for the championship, me and my Rallycross friends, and it did really well.
Well, we look forward to seeing it at Aston Cadet. Which of the rounds on the championship schedule do you think is going to be the most challenging for the drivers with your car?
I would say the Fern Bay Rallycross track, the RX2, because it's a very long track with fast corners on tarmac, and it really eats the tires up.
So we should look forward to round 5. But yeah, looking ahead to 2 weeks' time, Aston Cadet. Do you think you can carry on this momentum? But you won in quite a large, with quite a large gap to the drivers behind you today. Do you think you can carry that on into round 2?
I hope so, but you never know. I hope to have my Rallycross friends compete next week as well, next time as well. So it will be very hard to win from them, but we will do our best.
And what would you say to anyone who's thinking of signing up for your Rallycross Championship this year? Of course, 5 rounds to go, plenty of action still to come, and plenty of opportunities to shake up the championship standings, even with only 1 round gone.
I would tell them to sign up, even just for fun. I think we proved today you can have fun with only 5 cars at a time on a track, and to have a fun race and to give some good action.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tim, for joining me in the commentary box. Any parting words before we close for this evening?
I wish everybody a good night, and my mind mostly goes out these days to the situation in Ukraine, and I hope it's all gets resolved pretty quickly.
Well, we echo those sentiments. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for putting this event together, and we'll hope to see you again in 2 weeks' time on March 20th for round 2 at Aston Cadet Rallycross. Tim DC there, and yes, that does in fact bring to a close all of the action from round 1 of the championship this evening. Thank you very much for joining us on Sim Broadcast. I've been Peter Butcher, and we hope you can join us in 2 weeks' time for round number 2. It's going to be a blast of a championship, and we hope to see you there. Have a good one, and good night.